Hello children, welcome back to the session of biology. In the last session we had discussed about the tissues, basically about the meristematic tissues. We went through the activity of onion and we saw how the roots grow and which are the regions in the plant from where the growth takes place. It is good to observe you doing the activity. Keep it up and do these activities further also. Now today we'll deal with the another kind of tissues that are permanent tissues. Before that, let's have a recap and just see the flowchart which shows the arrangement of tissues or the different types of tissues. You can see here the plant tissues are classified into meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. In the last class we had discussed about the meristematic tissues, which was further classified into apical tissue, lateral tissue and intercalary tissues. Now today we'll learn about the simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues, which are further subclassified as simple permanent tissues are classified as parenchyma permanent tissues, collenchyma, sclerenchyma and protective tissues, and the complex tissues are further classified into phloem and xylem. Now you have to take care while speaking the words. When you speak the word, you must speak it with the correct pronunciation. Now let us start with the permanent tissues. When cells of the meristematic tissues change their shape and size to get specialized in performing other functions in plant's body. Now we saw that meristematic tissues are responsible for growth of plants. So now at a certain period the growth stops. The plant doesn't reach the sky. There is a certain limit up to which it grows. So then when it has matured completely and when that phase is over, then it gets specialized in performing other functions in plant body. So this process is called differentiation. Now once the cell of meristematic tissues divide to a certain extent, they become specialized for a particular function, as I told just now. So that kind of tissues are termed as the permanent tissues. Now again, permanent tissues are of two types: simple tissues and complex tissues. What are simple tissues? These type of tissue is composed of same type of cells. Now if you see them, they are little bit similar in structure but not all. For that you need to see the cross section under the microscope. Now as we are not in the school, we will not be able to see the cross sections. Once the school begins, we may see all these types of cells later on. But if possible, I'll send you the picture so that when you see it, you will be able to see the cross section and will be able to identify the tissue on the basis of its structure. Now here we have the different types of simple tissues. They are, listen the pronunciation and then speak it again: parenchyma simple tissues, collenchyma simple tissues, sclerenchyma simple tissues and protective tissues. Let us see one by one each tissues. Parenchyma simple tissues. Now what are parenchyma simple tissues? These tissues are live. Now let us see their shape and structure. Now in this chapter, when you talk about the tissues, you just have to see the shape, their structure and their function. There are certain activities which show the structure, and with the help of that you can identify the kind of tissues. But just now you have to remember the structure, its shape and its function. Okay, so you can see here that the parenchyma tissues are oval, they are elongated and loosely packed. Loosely packed means they are little bit away from each other, with large intercellular space. You have learned about the intercellular and intracellular space in your lower classes. You just need to see that their arrangement, the arrangement of cell is little bit, their space is large, so they are far away from each other. So their main function is packing of tissues, and they are found throughout the plant body. So parenchyma simple tissues are not located at a certain place in the plant, but they are scattered or they are found throughout the plant body. So this is the peculiarity of the parenchyma simple tissues. Let us further see the functions of parenchyma. They provide mechanical support to the plant body, and the other function is that they store food and nutrients in the vacuoles. Vacuoles we have learned in the previous chapter about vacuoles, that vacuoles are present in the plant cell, and their main function is the storage of food. The other kind of tissue is the chlorenchyma. Now chlorenchyma, what is chlorenchyma? It is not collenchyma. We are still talking about the simple tissues only, and we are talking about the parenchyma only. So within that we have chlorenchyma. So from the word chloro we come to know that it is something related to chlorophyll. It is something related to the green color of the leaf. And let us see what kind of parenchyma cells or tissues these chlorenchyma are. Parenchyma with chlorophyll which performs photosynthesis are called chlorenchyma. So here what is the basic function of chlorenchyma? It is related to photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? The process of making food in the plants. So it has a particular function in the plant for making food. Parenchyma is another kind of the parenchymatous cells or tissues. Now when we talk about the aquatic plants, the plants which live in water, there are plants that live on land or that grow on land, and there are plants which grow in water. So the ones which grow in water, aqua means water. So the plants that grow in water are aquatic plants. So in aquatic plants, cells of parenchyma have large air cavities. What are air cavities? You might have seen the aquatic plants that they have a long and thin stem, and their flower reaches on the surface, but still they float. You have seen floating plants in the ponds. So when they are in the water, they have air cavities in it. Cavities means little holes or the spaces to give buoyancy to the plant, and so it is termed as parenchyma. Now what is buoyancy? You have learned in standard 7th about buoyancy. Buoyancy is a process or it is a phenomenon when any object is placed in water, then the pressure that is exerted on the object, that is termed as buoyancy. किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट को अगर हम पानी में डालते हैं, you have done that experiment of egg. When we place it in water, then you might have seen that the one which is lighter in weight, it floats, and the one which is uh, more in weight, that will settle down. So these kind of simple experiments we have done in standard 7 regarding buoyancy. Now the other kind of the simple tissue is the collenchyma simple tissue. What is the peculiarity of the collenchyma simple tissues? they are live. The cells of collenchyma are live. Again now they are oval and elongated. So there is a very thin line of difference between parenchyma and collenchyma. So in order to differentiate them, let us see what differentiates parenchyma and collenchyma. They are tightly packed with no intercellular space. So here you can see the point of difference between parenchyma and collenchyma, that the intermolecular space or intercellular space. Now when you are told to differentiate between parenchyma and collenchyma, you have to see the intercellular space that makes a difference between these two. And they are found below epidermis in leaves and stem. Now what is epidermis? I think most of you have written that epidermis is the outermost layer of the cell, plant cell. Actually, it is the outermost protective layer. The outermost protective layer of the plant cell is epidermis, because it protects the cell, the plant cell, from the external pressure or any other thing. In certain plants, this layer of epidermis is very thick in order to prevent it. So this is the layer which is found below the epidermis. Collenchyma simple tissues are below the epidermis. So which is the outermost protective layer? It is the epidermis. But actually the cell wall is the outermost layer of the cell. When you differentiate between the plant cell and animal cell, the major difference is the presence of cell wall. The function of collenchyma tissue is that they provide mechanical support to the plant. Even parenchyma cells provide mechanical support. But here you can see that the collenchyma tissues provide flexibility to the plants so that they can bend without breaking. You might have seen that even there is a great flow in water, then also the plants, they bend. They are flexible, but they do not break. Now what provides this flexibility? The collenchyma tissues provide this flexibility so that these plants, they can float but they do not break. They bend. You might have seen the stem of the aquatic plants, that they are long, they are thin, they are elongated, but they do not break. It is because of the collenchyma tissue. The third type of tissue, simple tissue, is the sclerenchyma tissue. Now, what are sclerenchyma? The cells of sclerenchyma are dead. Now, these are not live cells. They are narrow and elongated. The cell wall in sclerenchyma is composed of lignin. Now, what is lignin? Lignin is a compound which is found in the tissues, which makes it hard. So what is the main function of sclerenchyma? It gives the rigidity, or it makes the cells tough. Sclerenchyma are found around vascular bundles. What are vascular bundles? Vascular bundles are the thick bundles of cells when they are grouped together. So they are found around them. Veins of leaves in hard covering of seeds and nuts. So here you can see that where it is found. It is found in the seeds and nuts. Now the main example that differentiates the sclerenchyma from other cells or the other tissues, that you can see that sclerenchyma tissues are found in the coconut husk. So if you are asked small questions like blanks and such things, then you have to write where it is found, what is its function, or what is the main point of difference between them. So you must know that where is sclerenchyma found? It is found in the coconut husk. What are the functions of sclerenchyma? They help to make parts of the plant hard and stiff. तो किसी भी प्लांट को अगर मजबूत बनाना है, उसको हार्ड बनाना है, so which tissues help? It is the sclerenchyma tissues. Now, as the main function of the simple tissues is to provide mechanical strength, even these tissues provide mechanical strength to the plant. The last kind of the simple tissues are the protective tissues. Now, as the name suggests, protective, that means it protects. So they protect the plant body by forming an outer layer. एक बाहरी परत बना देते हैं, एक लेयर बना देते हैं जिससे वो प्लांट को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं. Now, further the protective tissues are divided into two parts, that is epidermis simple tissues and cork simple tissues. We have discussed about the word cork in the previous chapter when we said that where is cork? It is present in the bark of the tree. Now we'll talk about it later. Let us first talk about the epidermis simple tissues. Now epidermis also, just now before 2 minutes we had discussed what is epidermis. It is the outermost protective layer of the plant cell which protects the cell from damage. So what does the epidermis tissue do? It covers the entire body of plant, and what does it do? It protects the plant from injury, germs and water loss. कुछ प्लांट्स ऐसे होते हैं जो ऐसी जगह में ग्रो होते हैं जहाँ पानी कम होता है. सो वट एवर वाटर दे हैव स्टोर्ड, they have to retain it. If they lose water, then again they may not grow. So in order to retain the loss of water, there must be something, a protective layer which prevents the loss of water. How does the water gets lost from the plant? Yes, when the sunlight falls, when there is, you have learned about transpiration, you have learned about the processes where we have even learned about the osmosis and the other processes through which there is loss of water from the cells or from the body. So in order to prevent that water loss, there are tissues which help the prevent of loss of water. These cells of epidermal tissues form a continuous layer without intercellular spaces. So again, when we talk about the intercellular space, there are very less intercellular space between epidermis simple tissues. Stomata are small openings on epidermal layer of leaf and soft part of stem to facilitate the gaseous exchange and transpiration in plants. Now we have learned about the stomata in our lower classes. We have learned that stomata are the tiny openings on the surface of the leaf that helps to get the sunlight and to get the carbon dioxide from the air. So that we learned in the lower classes. Now here we learn that it helps in the exchange of gases. It is the same thing, only the sentence formation is different. So we know the function of the stomata and we know what are stomata. Each stomata is composed of two guard cells which regulate the openings and closing of stomata. Now this thing is new for you because you don't know. If the pores are open, then the water will lose. It will keep on losing. So as we have door at our home, so here also likewise the guard cells, they prevent and they are present in the leaf in order to help the plant to retain water. In desert plants, epidermis and cutin. Cutin is a waterproof waxy substance secreted by epidermis. You might have at your home the plant of aloe vera. You might have seen that there is a waxy coating on it. Now what is this waxy coating? Waxy means it will not allow water to pass through it. उतना जल्दी पानी जल्दी निकलेगा नहीं. So this is present on the upper part, on the surface of the plant in order to prevent loss of water. Now these are thicker. This cutin is thicker in order to reduce loss of water due to transpiration. You have learned about the process of transpiration in standard 8. So in order to prevent the loss of water, this layer helps. Okay, now the cork simple tissue, the other kind of the protective tissue is the cork simple tissues. This type of tissues consist dead cells with no intercellular space. They form the outer layer of old tree trunks. As I said before, that we had talked about Koch when we were discussing about the discovery of cell. Who discovered the cell? Robert Hooke. So in where he found it? He found it in the cork of the tree. I had discussed about the cork in the previous chapter. So these cork simple tissues, they have cork cells. They have a chemical substance called suberin. Suberin is a chemical that is present in the walls. Now, how does it help? It make them impervious to gases and water. So, the exchange of water and gases that takes place in the plant. Now, you might have seen the bark of the tree, it is very thick, and you can see that generally the gases and water cannot pass through it. How does it pass? It passes through the leaf. So the cork tissues protect plants from injuries, germs and water loss. This is a function which is similar to the previous protective tissues, but you can differentiate. Cork being light in weight is useful for making several products like bottle stoppers and shuttlecocks. आपने वो लकड़ी का वुडन कॉक देखा होगा जो बॉटल के ऊपर होता है. इट्स लिटिल बिट shape of which is placed on the water bottles in order to close it. That is called the cork, cork, cork. So that we get from the bark of the tree. But what is its main function? It is for protection. Now let us move on to the next kind of tissues, that are complex tissues. Now these are a group of different types of cells performing common tasks together. They are of two types, that is xylem and phloem. When you see in the textbook, you can see the pictures of the various types of simple tissues in detail. If you want to see, you can read the lesson, you can go through the text, you can see even the guard cells, the figure of the guard cells in the textbook. We are moving towards the complex tissues, and here I'll show you the figure of xylem and phloem. Here you can see the structure of xylem and phloem. It's a little bit difficult to draw, but at least you can see the arrangement of cells and you can differentiate between xylem and phloem. So if you don't want to draw it in the textbook, it's okay, but you must know how to identify it. What is xylem? This is the tissue that transports water and nutrients from roots to the upper parts of the plant. So you can see the basic function of xylem, that its main function is the transport. It is composed of 4 types of cells. Now listen the pronunciation properly. Trachid, vessel, xylem parenchyma and xylem sclerenchyma. So these are fibrous. These are fibrous in nature, and we have learned about the parenchyma and sclerenchyma in the simple tissues, but when they become complex, so again their function varies. Here you can see the structure of the trachid, you can see the vessels, and you can see the xylem parenchyma here, and you can see the dots that are pits, and the nucleus and cytoplasm that is present in the cell. As we know, in all plant cells these organelles are present in the cell. Now let us see one by one the complex tissues and their parts. So what are trachids? Trachids are long elongated cells when tapered, with tapered ending. What is the meaning of tapered? When we take a hammer and when it is tempered, so you can see that its edge becomes elongated, or you can see that on the edge it becomes thin. So it has a tapered ending. Trachid cells are dead. They transport water through pits. So what are pits? Pits are small holes through which the transport takes place, or through which the water is transported. What is vessel? Vessel is a pipe like structure. Vessels are dead and have lignified thick cell wall. Lignified means it gives thickness to the cell. The upper and lower portion of the cell wall is absent. Now here you can see in the vessels that in the upper and lower portion the cell wall is not present. And what are parenchyma? We have discussed before that parenchyma are living cells and they store food and nutrients. So here the function of the parenchyma is again storage. Sclerenchyma or fibers, as we say, they are dead cells and they provide mechanical support to the plant. The next part is the phloem. Now what is phloem? Phloem is a tissue that transports food from the site of photosynthesis to different parts of the plant. Now what is the site of photosynthesis? The leaf. So the tissue that carries food, you have learned in your lower classes that the leaf is the kitchen of the plant. The food is made in the kitchen. So when the water is transported from the roots to the different parts, first the water goes to the leaf and through the stem, and when it reaches the leaf, there in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, the leaf prepares its own food, and then the process of photosynthesis occurs or it takes place. So from there the food that is prepared, that needs to be transported to different parts of the plant. So here the phloem plays its part. So it is a tissue that transports the food. It is composed of 4 types of cells, that is sieve cells, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber or blast fiber. So these are the different types of phloem. These all types of cells are live except the phloem fibers. So this is the point of difference that you can make out, that only the phloem fiber is dead cell, others are all live cells. Here you can see the cross section of phloem. Here you can see the sieve plate which is on the topmost part. You can see the sieve tubes. It are in the form of elongated tubes. The phloem parenchyma is on the edge on the right side, you can see, and the small dot like structure is the companion cells. Now they are not companions, they are not partners, they are not friends, but as they are present together, they are termed as companion cells. Let us see one by one what are these cells. Sieve cells are elongated and have thin cell wall. Now this is the major point of difference. You might have seen the simple tissues, there they had the thick cell walls, and here they have the thin cell wall. They have cytoplasm but no nucleus and other organelles. These cells are responsible for transportation of food and nutrients. Now you might have heard about the transportation of food and nutrients in the previous tissues also. But what is the major difference here? The cell wall. Companion cells have cytoplasm, nucleus and other organelles. They perform the task required for sieve cells for living. Now here you come to know about the function of each tissues. Phloem parenchyma store food. So the function of the phloem parenchyma is to store food. Phloem fibers have thick cells and they provide mechanical support to the plant. Now basically these tissues are just for the support. So you might have heard about these all functions, but basically the function of the tissues is providing mechanical support, transport of food and transport of water. But as they are located at different parts of the plant, their functions little bit vary and their structure it varies. So you can see the nucleus, cytoplasm, the other organelles, the presence of the cell wall, the kind of the cell wall. So this differentiates the different tissues. So there is there are very less points which differentiates these tissues, but you can make out from the structure. Now with this we complete the explanation of the permanent tissues, but unless you read the lesson, I have just given a outline of the permanent tissues, but when you read the lesson well, I think you will be able to understand it more in a better way. And so I would suggest you to read the lesson, and then if you come across certain words which you don't understand, or if you don't understand any concept, you may ask me anytime. Okay, these questions were already given to you in the worksheet last time, but this time I have given the solution of these 5 questions, and along with that I am sending some other questions. It is not necessary that you write the questions at the end of the text. If I have given the notes of the permanent issues, then if the questions related to permanent issues are given besides it or after that, you write the questions and then you can continue with the notes of the animal tissues afterwards. So it's not necessary to write the question answers only at the end of the lesson. You can write in between because it is for our reference, and these questions are related to this part of content. So write the question answers first, and then we'll write the notes of the animal tissues in the next chapter. Hope you have understood the content well. Have a nice day. Thank you.